What if you scribbled an idea on a napkin and it became a limitless scale tech company poised for exit? What if you had a vision of eliminating an inefficiency in your community, industry, or the world, and you had a chance to co-found a company and bring this product or service to the market? What if we could positively impact every social issue with tech? 10x Tech Tank is the #1 daily show for everything tech entrepreneurship. And whether you are technical or not, you will learn, be inspired, and witness transformation in the making. People will share tech ideas on napkins. People will showcase minimum viable tech products. People will explain their cash-flowing tech companies looking for acceleration. And if the person is right, and their idea is right, and the market is right, and the business model is right, then there's a great chance you will witness some serious magic. We are on a mission to build, scale, and sell 10,000 tech companies in 10 years. And we invite you to make history with us. Together, we achieve more.
Welcome to 10x Tech Tank. Jared Yellin here, co-founder of 10x Incubator.
My name is Eric Nowoslawski.
And we are excited to share for entrepreneurs with you. Listen up. If you tune in every day, we are honored and we appreciate you. We understand that you could be doing anything with this hour, but if you're here, it's because you're passionate about the tech industry, you want to learn more about the industry, maybe you have an idea, and that's an idea that you wrote on a piece of paper just like this, or maybe you've invested some money into it and you have a minimum viable product, or even a cash flowing tech company, and you're just not exactly sure where to go and you're kind of feeling us out. Like, maybe I want to go on the tank. Like, you think people are thinking that, Eric? Like, they're watching, like, they got an idea, like, I'm going to watch a few more episodes to see, like, are these guys for real? Like, do you think that's happening?
Yeah, I definitely think that's happening in both ways. I think there's a lot of people who are sitting on ideas that have potential and they're just not raising their hand to go. And then there's also people who are trying to feel us out and see what kind of questions we're asking and if they're prepared for those and everything.
Yeah. So this is what I want to ask you. If you have an idea right now that you're sitting on, what's the absolute worst thing that can happen if you don't do the tank? And what's the worst thing that happen if you do the tank? And I really want you to think about that. Because what I have found is that the worst thing that happens when you don't take action is nothing changes. And that would mean that you're going to have your idea sitting in your wallet because you wrote it on a little piece of paper that's going to eventually disintegrate, or so the ink is going to fade away. You're not going to be able to read it anymore. And eventually it's going to end up in the graveyard with you. And the worst that can happen if you do it, like you actually go forward and move forward with it, like is that it doesn't land. And that's okay, right? But what's the best that can happen if you do it? The best that can happen if you do it is that we say yes, and we co-found a company with you. I'm going to challenge you right now. Go for the best thing that can happen if you do it. Go for that best thing. Because there are people that pitch us every single evening, and at least a few of them over the course of each week are getting a deal. We're moving forward with them. We go through due diligence, and we're finding the right person with the right idea in the right market and the right business model. And we want to say yes. Every evening we show up, and we're like, let's say yes tonight. Let's say yes. We want to. We want to say yes. We just need to say yes to those 4 things. Right person, right idea, right market, and right business model. So we welcome you. We are excited to be here. We have a moonshot, and I want to make sure you know what this is. If this is your first time tuning in, the moonshot is to build, scale, and sell 10,000 tech companies in 10 years. We know we can't do it alone, so we're looking for 10,000 change maker entrepreneurs. And with that, let's bring up our first one. We have Charles Swanson here. What is up, man? Thank you for joining us. Where are you calling in from tonight? Good to see you, brother.
Thanks.
Where are you calling in from?
I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Awesome.
Love it.
Welcome to the tank. You got 5 minutes. Share your big tech idea. Take it away.
All righty. I'm CJ Swanson. I'm going to share my screen here.
Pumped to see you, CJ. Good to see you, bro. You're going to dominate right now.
So a little bit about me. I've been in the senior housing space for a long time. I've seen all the difference it takes to become a caregiver by taking care of my parents that both passed away from cancer, to actually even working in the kitchen in a senior housing environment. And now I'm an administrator at Scandia Retirement Community. And this is what drove me to really help senior housing operators prepare for the future.
All right, let's get into it.
Right. And then these are the residents, these are the problems we're solving. Isolation is very important to us. Making sure that the resident does not get isolated. Due to COVID and other crises, we've noticed that how can we make it where we can still be safe, but still create mobility and through our retirement community, through different levels of service. A lot of problems for retirement owners are that there's a gap in service and profitability. There's high turnover with employees and there's fragment workflows. Concierge Tech will solve that by helping sure that employees and residents and their families are all in communication and that they have quality of life and quality of communication. Our 5 pillars of our business is convenience, connectivity, safety, and lowering operating costs and increasing property appreciation. Now I'm going to show you our demo. So imagine you move into a retirement community and you walk through your door and this is what you see on your TV screen. You can now click our Concierge Tech icon and immediately start deploying services so you can live more independent, but also still be connected. You can order meals that are diet specific. You can request services to caregivers, transportation to your designated spot. Also, you have maintenance requests. And so you can immediately do maintenance requests and deploy it right through your TV. So there's no reason for you to try to see small screens or try to figure out who to call. Our activity calendar. Activities are very important. Having our residents being connected on-site and then to off-site and local community events is important. So then they can get rides to great events, to jazz, concerts, to festivals, all those things that keep people independent. Our address book. Residents can immediately connect to residents on-site or any of the residents that are on our platform. They can also connect to family and be able to talk to their family and see what it takes to, not see what it takes, but it's a way for them to connect to their family without always having to figure out if they can hear them or have those problems. Now the operator portal, it's more to see the full scope of what your residents are doing on a day-to-day basis, but not too invasive. We have these fall sensors that can detect falls, UTIs, and also breathing detection. And they're continuing to use AI to really figure out how to best serve the resident and not put dollars towards what you assume the resident needs. And that's the biggest point of what we want to do at Concierge Tech is getting a full scope of what the resident needs are instead of spending dollars on maybe what they don't need. So if they don't like meatloaf, we're going to pivot and say, let's focus on transportation and grocery pickup. Or what items can we change as your culture changes in a retirement community? Now back to our market. Is there are set to be 76 million baby boomers.
You got 1 minute left, CJ. You got 1 minute left, CJ. Good stuff, man, so far. 1 minute.
All right. And then also our traction. We've secured already 2 customers. That's the Park and Scandia Retirement Community. And then this is our revenue model. And then we're set to focus on getting 1,500 retirement communities signed up in the next 5 to 7 years.
Amazing.
And so that's a little bit about
CJ. Love it, man.
Concierge Tech. And here's our sensors.
Oh,
Cool.
great.
Oh, awesome. Cool. So how'd you get those 2 senior living centers, to the 2 customers? How'd you get those?
Man, just through relationships, and they've seen the importance of why you need to deploy services through your TV, because during the pandemic, they were going door to door to 60 to 100 units getting meal orders. So that made it really complex and people were doing papers. And a lot of times when you have short staff already, and then you have to go reach each resident touch point, it really slows down time.
Got it. So I have a question for you. So it's a physical device, that device you held up, right? And that device.
Yes, these are fall sensors. And then we have software that is connected to Roku and Apple TV platform.
Awesome. And what's the price per senior living center? Is it like per room, or how does it work?
So it's an upfront cost of $2,500, and that's yearly, and then $35 per resident. And if they want to install the sensors, it'll be an upfront $6,500 and $2,500 every year. And that's for each community, and then $35 per resident.
Cool. And are they passing that cost on to the resident? Is that how they're doing it? Like, are they making money on it?
Yes. We wanted our software to be a wholesale approach so they could increase appreciation on their property as residents move in and move out. Because the problem is, a lot of times you'll spend a lot of time with residents, and then if they're always isolated, their mobility goes down, their health care goes up with cost, and they end up having decline where they have to go to assisted living or memory care. So the more you can keep people mobility and start learning the residents' habits, and then you can start doing serving residents on predictive habits. And that's important on in the full scope of when residents move out or move to other places to go get more care. You now know exactly how they leave and why they left, instead of just knowing that, okay, we have to talk to grandma about moving to memory care.
Got it. So in the current, how many residents total between the two facilities right now are using the platform?
There's about 85 so we're still in beta testing. Yeah. So we're still developing the product, and our focus now is just the installation of sensors and then figuring out how the software can work. So that'll be about 83 residents.
So now there's also a employment crisis in the nursing home industry where they can't get enough people. So does this also allow them to keep their head count a little lower and have predictability around their hiring?
Exactly, Eric. That's what drove me to this, because you want to create a lean machine, but you also want to make sure that your employees are having touch points with the resident correctly and not having tied up time. Because when you have tied up time, you have fragment workflows and nothing gets done, and then the employees are overworked, and then they just leave. And then there's no career path for a lot of employees, so they just go to another retirement community that pays a little dollar more, but there's no service and no driven to stay or incentives. Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. It's so competitive that people leave for like 50-cent raises someplace else in this industry. It gets pretty crazy. So this is an interesting idea because he's taking advantage of an industry that has for sure a problem, and he's solving that problem. But this industry, as the population continues to age, is only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So CJ, I think this is really interesting.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. So what is your need? So you're in beta right now. Give us some context. Like, what does your team look like today? And then what are your needs?
So I have a team screen. So I've been working with the team here in Tulsa to develop it. So Ed Bogle is my man. He's my grandpapa. He's in his 70s, and he's been in the industry for about 35 years, helping senior housing operators really scale their business and really survive in hard and good times. And then right now we reached out to you all because we really want to partner with a tech co-founder and really get the sales deploying of the great relationships that we already have, and really how to foster those relationships correctly so we can really prosper and create opportunity in this industry. I have a former Roku employee and director on my team, so she knows TV in and out and how to really deploy it. And she's helped scale them before she exited and started her own tech consulting company. And so I'm excited about working with great sales team, great tech, but also bringing service, because we want the tech to work definitely, so then the residents can trust us with even more great intellectual property to come. Sure. But we're just going to start simple and then evolve from there, and really have a niche to local businesses to also connect to residents and not feel like when an older adult moves that they're moving to die, but they're actually moving just to reconnect.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So for those in the chat, what do you think of CJ's idea here to support the senior centers of the world. So Eric, what are you thinking right now?
I'm thinking that I want to head it more into due diligence on this idea. I personally have a relative who's in a nursing home right now, and I would want them to be using this immediately.
Yeah.
And then this also could turn into a positive feedback loop for the residents to be giving notifications to their families, right, CJ?
Yes, and Eric, my biggest question for you and Jared is, what will it take for you all to co-found with us? We know you all have a great infrastructure. One of our biggest concerns is that we want to launch this product with a great pipeline and a great infrastructure and support team around it.
Yeah, so what's interesting is you are definitely the right person to do this. I could tell your knowledge on the industry is on point, your desire to build a solution. I could feel your integrity coming through the camera, so you're definitely the right person. The idea is right too, to leverage the TV that's in their room and have that be a vehicle for them to get what they want, and also for the facility to have more visibility into the specific needs. Like Eric said, with a shortage of people working in nursing homes, they need to be lean and mean, and this gives them a chance to remain lean and mean, but still offer a high quality service. I believe the market, I don't know enough about it, but I have a feeling that you're going to just disrupt anything that's there, if there is anything, and it seems like there might not be anything. And that was your experience during COVID as well. And then the business model, I want to figure out how we can get your profit margin to be higher than what you had on that last slide. I know you went quickly through it, but we should be able to find a way to make the actual financial model even more viable. But I'm a yes to go forward with due diligence with you. 100%.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. And in the chat, let us know what you think as well. We do like to be influenced by our community here, our 10X Tech Tank community. So what are your thoughts on this platform? If you have a parent that is in a senior center or a grandparent in a senior center, and you've always wanted some mechanism to give them more life, more access to the community, more support. You wanted the senior center itself to have more visibility into the needs of your parent or grandparent. Would you want this product installed inside of the senior center? CJ, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you, my friend. You did a great job today. So Eric, one of the things that happens all the time at 10X Incubator is people are asking, how do I get involved?
All the time.
How do I get involved? I might not have a tech idea. Maybe I'm not accredited. I can't invest, but I want to work with you. I want to participate. Listen, we are always hiring. We are always looking for talent. We are hiring people that are on the software development team. We're hiring product managers, copywriters, graphic designers, videographers, project managers, strategists. We just want great people. We know this is bigger than any individual person. And whenever we see someone who's integrous, committed, hungry, they're going to go on the ride with us, like whatever it takes mentality, we're going to get them involved. Take a look at this quick commercial of Grant Cardone and I talking about what it means to work at the coolest place in the world, 10X Incubator.
Hey guys, come work for the most innovative company in the world, 10X Incubator. We're launching 10,000, listen to me, 10,000 tech companies in 10 years. If you're a coder, what?
We got
programmer,
coders, we got graphic designers, we got copywriters, digital marketers, biz dev.
You name it.
You
if
got
you
skill.
like tech, love tech, want to be in tech, okay? We don't actually require that you get the jab here either. Just so you know, if you want it, good. If you don't want it, no problem. We are hiring. We want you. If you're good at your job, if you're disciplined, if you want to be paid well, if you want to be taken care of, if you want to be in a 10X environment, click the link below. Give us your resume and a short video. 30-second video. Just tell us who you are. Tell us what you do. We want you. We want you.
Let's go.
We want you.
So what do you think? You want to join us? We'd be honored to have you apply. Head over to 10xincubator.com/hiring and just look. There's always opportunities. So, and if you don't see anything that meets your specific skill set, just apply generally so we have your information on file and we can be in touch with you. We want the greatest talent in the world to be part of what we're building. What we're building, an ecosystem to build, scale, and sell 10,000 tech companies in the next 10 years. Let's see who's up next. We have Tim. What is up, Tim? Thank you for joining us in the tank. Where are you calling in from, my friend? Your audio's not on. Give it another go. I think.
Now we can hear you.
Yeah, perfect, Tim. Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Columbus, Ohio.
Awesome, my friend. Well, take it away. You got 5 minutes. Share your big tech idea with us.
All right, sir. Thank you. Thank you. First of all, my name's Tim Alt. I'm the CDO of Kaufman Media, a digital integration company. I'm also with Pathway to Digital. I'd like to introduce you to. Pathway to Digital is basically a digital education platform that's targeted for the Gen Zs in our nation's school capital. We feel that from a PR newswire release that the digital out-of-home network will grow to more than $27 billion by the year 2025. That's kind of what. So our challenge here is to connect media, technology, and the brands to tomorrow's consumers. Tomorrow's consumers being the Gen Zs that will designed to create new revenues for the education system, primarily with the K through 12 first, and the second phase being higher education. And why we ask for education? The Gen Zs are one of the hardest markets to reach today. There's over 68 million of them across the country in that age group, 9 to 24. It's a very attractive demographic. There's a lot of discretionary monies that they have access to, either through jobs or through the parental feeding the beast. It's all new spending activity that can create that for the advertisers. A lot of the existing systems out there are failing to produce sustainable incomes for our nation's schools to help with where the states have pulled back so many things in their budget. They're always looking for new revenues, specifically non-tuition revenues. No one likes to have their taxes increased or anything. So this is a non-tuition opportunity for them. And it also can provide safety alerts and mass notifications across the network in the unlikely event of an emergency on a campus. And our solution here is to build a national ad-based, digitally placed-based network in the top 100 cities across the country initially. These will be managed by selected students within each district. And the goal is to deploy 100 screens in each city across campuses as well as high schools, with a goal of 10,000 screens in a 3-year period. You know, our model here again is with the Gen Zers, the K through 12 group. It's an ad-based system. It's creating new revenues, and it will be managed and operated by the trained students within each district. The platform we've chosen is Ping HD. Ping HD is a content management system based right here in the United States, out in Denver, Colorado. Also, as a partner of ours that we use on many of our other clients for digital signage. It'll support multiple users, so 10,000 screens could never bog the system down. It'll allow you to create playlists that you can schedule specific times, specific dates, specific durations for that content to play on that screen. It can integrate very easily in with POS systems, access control, alarm systems. There's a lot of integration. It's an open API. Our initial efforts are going to be basically to identify the specific districts in mind, secure those location agreements, and then we'll be partnering with a media planner as well as an agency partner that'll help us get those ads on these displays through programmatic opportunities. Our competition is pretty much basically failed systems. Schools are installing these.
1 minute, Tim. 1 minute, Tim. Keep going, man. 1 minute.
Yep. Going across the country, but they're not offering a compelling opportunity for the advertisers to jump on board. And also, there's very few of them across the campus. Our marketing and sales, so in all, it would be about 10,000 screens in our top 100 cities at a $2,000 to $3,000 cost per display, thus about a $30 million total CapEx. With revenue, we're estimating $1,000, I think very conservatively, $1,000 per display per year in revenue for advertising revenue when it reaches full deployment of 10,000 screens. We'll do this within the first year. We'll do 2,000 displays, second year, 3,000, third year, 5,000. Again, establishing these revenues for the schools, reaching these pre and current Gen users, and with an initial investment requirement to launch of about $6.2 million. And with that, I'm open for questions.
Cool. Great job, Tim. So I might have missed it, but what is the clearly identified problem that you're looking to solve?
Revenue for schools. Revenues are in dire need of new revenues that are not necessarily tax-based.
Okay.
And these colleges that you're referring to? Or which
mostly K through 12 is our initial goal. Then moving on to higher education afterwards.
And so what would happen is a school would be able to purchase the display, and then a student would get trained on how to sell the ad network, and then local businesses would advertise on the ad network?
No, local businesses would add, or we can, once we get to a level that can attract those larger brands out there, then we can build that to where they're getting more eyes on it.
So who's selling the ads though? Is it the children, like the K through 12?
Well, they would be. It would kind of like be the same thing. The children would be selling ads for the local as an opportunity, just the same way we did when I was in school. When we published the yearbook, you went out and got a hold of the local advertisers. Once the yearbook is published, it's a static ad, so it doesn't go nowhere. It goes on someone's bookshelf. With a digital display, it can continue to advertise to the parents when they come to the school for games. You know, that we're looking to put these in a common area, for example, the cafeteria or the student common area. So it'll continue to give value to the community and continue to add revenue to the community's businesses by getting additional business from that to reach those parents.
So how does the model work? So school goes and pays $1,000. $2,000.
This is going to be a free opportunity for the school systems. There is no budget for them to buy these displays. That's what the investment does. It'll get the system launched and then get it to a point to where it can begin to get local ad revenues followed up by the national ad revenues.
Got it. Okay, so school gets it for free. Okay, so you're going to deploy this in 100 total communities, eventually. So one school in each community gets it for free. And then the students go out and get local ad. You're going to focus on getting national ad. What percentage of the ad revenue does the school keep?
We're estimating that to be about 30%.
Okay, so 30% of the revenue the school keeps. And what do you predict will be, on average, the revenue generated per location that you install this for the year?
Well, we're estimating $1,000 per display per year.
$1,000 per display per year. And how many displays will be in one school?
We're estimating 3 to 5 right now.
Okay, so it'll be $5,000 a year revenue generated.
Correct.
And so the school will make $1,500.
Correct.
Per year.
And as that network grows, it can be more and more. Especially if they've got campuses that they want to deploy this in, other than a primary campus of just 3 to 5 screens.
Have you gotten a reaction from any schools about this idea?
I've spoke to a couple of superintendents that are just in my network, and they like it primarily because it gives them an opportunity to increase revenue.
What do they need you for to do that?
That was my question too, because they could technically take one of their displays, shoot off an email to the local news, the local news, but then the local businesses, and then have them advertise within the school. What 10x value do you bring into the school that they wouldn't be able to have for themselves?
Because we're supporting it for them on a national level. We've got the NOC center here that can manage the system itself, know when it's down, because when it's down, it doesn't create revenue.
Got it. Okay. And then, so right now, you're not started yet. You've talked to a few superintendents. And in order to get started, you need to raise $6.2 million to start. Right. Or is that not the case?
Yeah, we think that would be a sufficient amount to get it to a point to where we've got some volume that the local schools can each local school could actually go out and start putting ads on it right away. And it's ran by a proprietary software that we can monitor, and we see what's going on with it. And it also creates an opportunity for them to put videos up on for sporting events, different little things they can use the network for.
Yeah. So
just ad based.
I think what I would like to do as the next step is, Tim, I'd like to challenge you to talk to more business owners and start pre-selling that advertising space. Because I understand then I have 2 challenges. Because one, I think you can get way more than $1,000 per display per year.
I agree.
That is real. So it's oftentimes when we hear estimates, they're like way on the other side of like, we're going to make $3 billion in 2 months. And it's like, okay, everybody pump the brakes. But now the estimate that you're giving, though, that is easily doable. But now with that estimate, though, a school is going to immediately be thinking to themselves, $1,500. Well, we could do $1,500 as well. So that's why I think I have 2 challenges for you. One, let's start talking to business owners and get out to them and say, you know, what would you pay to be advertising to the kids who are walking by every single day? And then 2, as a school, what kind of ROI would the school need to see? I know they're not making an investment because you would do the raise to get the monitors into the school, but what kind of ROI would they need to see if they did buy the monitor? And then 2, could you set up an ad network without any hardware? Like, what if you were to have the business owners sponsor every projector in the school and then their little logos on the bottom? Something like that where you wouldn't need as much of a hard cost, and then you're managing the ad network that's being put into the hardware infrastructure that they already have today.
And listen, everybody in the chat, let us know what you think. Like, what do you think about this idea? Would you want to see this idea in your local schools? If you're in a school, if you're a teacher, do you think this is something that your school would adopt? I'm not a yes to move forward, but I'm a yes to give you what I would do if I was you. Is I would go to the local school where you have direct access. I'd go and buy 1 or 2 monitors, so it's not a huge investment for you. And I would try to prove out what the revenue would actually be on those monitors. Because at $1,000 a year, you're never going to get a school to say yes to this. Like, even if they're not paying anything, it doesn't really make sense because they could just do it for themselves if they're going to make $1,500 a year across 5 monitors. But I like to see you prove that it's significantly greater than that, and also prove that the businesses are getting business from it. Because if you can prove that out in one school where it's a very minimal investment, it's more of your hustle than finances being put into it, and you could prove that out, and you could say, look at this one school we did this in. We were able to generate $1 million for all of the businesses that ran ads on this platform, and we were able to generate $25,000 for the school. And that's why I'm looking to raise $6.2 million so we can do this across 100 schools. You will get someone interested in doing that. But at this moment, it's too conceptual. There's not enough data supported. So I'm not a yes on due diligence, but maybe we could be influenced in the chat. So let us know, are we missing something with this deal? Tim, I love where your heart is at. I appreciate you for coming to the tank, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Great job tonight. Really appreciate you. So one of the things that I remember the first call I had with Gallantale. Gallantale is one of our co-founders, and you're about to see the platform that we've launched with Gallant. But it was such an interesting call because he said to me, Jared, I want to build a SaaS product for small business owners that does all their invoicing and eventually becomes a CRM for them and does all of these things. And I'm like, cool, what do you think the price is going to be? He goes, free. I'm like, Gallant, how can we build a SaaS platform that's free? But the dude did it. Take a look at Business Toolkit. You're going to love this.
What if there was a simple business toolkit that got you paid by your clients, customers, and patients? What if you can set up your account in seconds and begin benefiting from all of the features in minutes? What if this entire platform is free? Business Toolkit is revolutionizing the way small businesses and sole proprietors are running their businesses by enabling you to manage your sales process from one platform from start to finish. Imagine canceling your expensive scheduling software, or discontinuing your clunky invoicing software, or eliminating your pricey task management software, and instead using one platform, your Business Toolkit, to drive your business forward. And don't forget, Business Toolkit is free. Sign up ASAP and begin saving money while you make way more money than ever before.
All right, what do you think? Would you use that in your small business? I mean, you'd be crazy not to. It's absolutely free. It's a stable solution. And guess what? Gallant is giving so many additional resources to support you with your business. Gallant is a phenomenal entrepreneur, a young entrepreneur that has built a 8-figure business multiple times over, has an ecosystem and tribe of hundreds of thousands of entrepreneurs from around the world, and he built Business Toolkit to support you as a small business owner because he saw the software landscape was overly complicated, overly pricey, and he said, I want to find a way to support everyday small business owners because everyday small business owners is what makes our country great. Head over to businesstoolkit.com. It's free. There's no hooks. Like, just sign up, no credit card needed, and start to benefit from this platform. So we got another entrepreneur coming up, Big E.
Yeah,
we got another
absolutely.
entrepreneur. How excited do you get right before an entrepreneur starts their pitch?
I love just the potential of, we don't even know what's going to come our way. Is it going to be a new blockchain technology, or is it going to be a new fintech, or is it going to be a new artificial intelligence? I'm always excited to see what comes
So here, one thing you should know is we have literally no idea. Like it's not like we know who's coming up, we know what they're right. We're hearing it when you're hearing it for the first time. So we're just reacting and responding, but we are looking for 4 things. When we say yes to move forward in due diligence, which is our ultimate goal, we want to say yes to everybody that comes through, but we can't unless there's 4 things present. The right person with the right idea in the right market and the right business model. Those are the 4 major criteria that we look for to say yes to go into due diligence. And then when in due diligence, we're looking for a ton of things to ensure that it's just the right fit. Because when we say yes to an entrepreneur, we see a clear path to build, scale, and sell that company. Build, scale, and sell that company. So let's see who's up with us right now. We have Juanita. Juanita, where are you calling in from?
Oh, we can't hear you.
Your audio seems to be off.
Bethesda, Maryland.
Awesome.
Oh, great.
Thank you for being here. You got 5 minutes. Share your big tech idea.
Okay, may I share my screen?
Yes, you may. Please.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to put the link to this PowerPoint in there as well. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. You're perfect, Juanita.
All right. So I'm just a regular kind of person. I'm not really a techie, but my idea is a complete legal on-demand app. So the reason why I think this would be a good idea is because I see a lack of affordable access to the full suite of corporate legal assistance for new business owners. There appears to be no convenient option for small deal M&A legal help, domestic or internationally integrated. Generally, this kind of thing takes a lot of money. So this product would close the gap for that. And the target audience would really be any business owner. So going through it, providing the full suite of legal help for businesses. It would provide like a legal shield type service to fill the apparent gap in access for business owners seeking legal advice for the full life cycle of their business. There are a lot of websites and apps that kind of offer the beginning stages, but not the full life cycle. The difference for this one would be that it's virtual, kind of like walk-in convenience, on demand, 24/7. So you don't have to make an appointment and then wait and do all of the schedule changes. So it would accommodate busy lifestyles, and available via website, smartphone, or tablet. Business ideal users would be owner-operators, solopreneurs, or even just businesses. So 2 user types. The second, so business to consumer and business to business. Coming to the app anytime they need legal help. The second type could use secondments. The economic model would be subscription, monthly or annual, 3-tier typical offerings, plus maybe a licensed subscription model for enterprises. Legal Shield has affiliate programs, so this one could have something like that to keep up with the competition. And I think the tax filing and CPA add-on service would also be great because it would ease some of the transitions. The market, how large is it? Well, how many businesses are there in the US or even maybe the US and Canada, and new ones are registered all the time. I think there's a great opportunity to do different marketing strategies, account-based marketing, paid advertisements, all of these listed here. I won't read that to you. More growth, you could acquire some of the other companies, smaller companies or companies that are inefficiently offering services to businesses or half of the services. Maybe even higher education partnerships through an enterprise license. So the features would be subscription model, on-demand live chat 24/7, 360-degree corporate legal service, document storage repository, kind of like a one-stop legal shop. Estate planning and trust. I found another company who offered, for example, a business plan where you had some legal aspects, not all of them, but then they took out estate planning for the business plan versus the personal plan, and business is personal, so I don't understand why that would be the case. Tax filing and intuitive user interface. So just a little kind of visual about the competitors that I saw. and where I think they are in the convenience and affordability aspect. So ideally, I'd want this app to be here, and these are how I see some of the other things. So the most closest competitor would be Legal Shield and Axiom. So I think this could be like an upgrade mashup to make it better. Think fractional legal teams. A little more detail about the competition. And in summary, I think you'd be crazy to pass this up because I don't see this on Google anywhere. So I think it's a great opportunity to get kind of in the market and be a front runner there. It would revolutionize productivity for business owners, saving people money, and it may even change some of the legal industry for lawyers. And to top it off, I'm a great person to work with. I have a great work ethic. I think I could be a good spokesperson to educate people about this app.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being concise. You got everything in there. So why you for this specific idea, outside of being a great person with a great work ethic, why is Juanita right to disrupt kind of the legal industry and the legal services at large? Like, why you for that?
Yeah, well, I don't have a legal background. I'm an educator by trade. But being an educator, I do feel like that's a strength because basically, as a teacher, what we do is we take subject matter experts in content and we can kind of break that down into very simplistic terms and disseminate that information and teach people other benefits. I work, around with a network of lots of entrepreneurs that are always looking for deals and doing things. And so they're always talking about these challenges as well. So I feel like I have a good network behind me who this would benefit.
Awesome. Have you talked to them about it? And if yes, what have you shared and what has been their response?
I've not talked to them so much about it. I mean, we've kind of discussed some of the frustrations and they agree like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, well, so let me go look online and see what's out there. And, I share what's out there. Most of them, might have money and that they don't really need this kind of service. Maybe they, they already have millions of dollars and so they can, afford their own legal team. But for the rest of us, it's quite a struggle. And so we have to kind of do a lot of the stuff ourselves. And that opens the door for making really costly mistakes. So
it's a marketplace. So what would motivate a lawyer to go on here? Like, why would an attorney want to use this platform? I understand why a small business owner would, because they could get more affordable services. But why would a lawyer go on here?
Sure. Well, to that I would kind of say, why would they agree to join anything similar, even like LegalZoom? I would assume there'd be some benefits to them, maybe flexibility of schedule. I spoke with at least 2 people who had legal backgrounds, and then after the first year quit, and just decided that it wasn't the way things worked, was not for them. And so to me, in my mind, I kind of wonder why that is. I don't know a lot about the industry, but I definitely feel like there are, people want freedom, flexibility in their schedule and their time back, right? So something like this could aggregate and curate the best lawyers to offer services, but not necessarily take all of their time.
Yes. And so in order to make it affordable though, they would be providing their services at a lower cost. Is that correct? What's your price point that you're aiming for the small business to be able to get legal help?
I'm sorry, say that last again.
What's your price point for the small business to enable them to get legal advice?
Sure. Well, that's where I would be hoping that I could use, your guys' expertise for that if you were to join with this project, because that will require some market research to see like where that would be so that it can make sense for corporate type law. I don't know. There's a lot of, in these services, the pricing is a little bit kind of shielded. For example, Up Counsel has hourly kind of things, and maybe they range from about $200, $5,000. And then there's like some packages. So, it definitely wouldn't be as low as LegalZoom, but I do think it could be a 3-tier, generally affordable thing. I would imagine the lowest plan would probably be somewhere between $100 and $500 per
Great.
month.
So in the chat, let us know. What do you think about Juanita's idea? Would you use this as a small business owner, and would you use this as an attorney? I'll speak first. I'm not a yes on due diligence, but I'm going to tell you why. You don't need to be technical to be a tech founder. Like, I'm non-technical. Like, there's not an engineering bone in my entire body. I know how to write marketing copy, and I know how to sell. But I found a way to build and scale my first tech company to over 40,000 paying users now. But I'm the expert on the problem that that solution solves. And this is really important for any of you that are going to come to the tank. You need to be the absolute expert on the industry. We can't know more about the industry than the person coming to us with the idea. We can know more about the tech and the go-to-market and the relationship capital, but we need industry experts to come to us with their idea. Eric, but what are your thoughts on moving forward?
I would probably say the same thing. I'd want to see a little bit more clarity around what that price point you're aiming for is, so then we would be able to say, okay, would a lawyer be able to sign up for this? Because this is a two-sided marketplace. There's people asking for advice and they're paying for advice, and then there's somebody who has to be able to provide that advice. And are we ensuring that that market is at equilibrium? I'm just not sure.
Yeah, so listen, what we can be influenced. So in the chat, let us know, what did you think of Juanita's idea to completely disrupt the legal industry for small business owners? Speaking of experts, for co-founders, we have a platform called Claim Guru. And Claim Guru is a software solution for the public adjusting industry. Now, public adjusting, I don't know about you, but I didn't even know what that was. Did you know what it was?
I knew what that was.
Oh, you did? Listen, you know it. This guy's like a little baby genius over here. Listen, look at that guy. Don't let that little sweet little innocent face not like get in the way of his just deep freaking hair too. The deep intellect he brings. But listen up. I didn't even know what public adjusters were. I had no idea. I never heard of it. And then I met Josh Osteen. And Josh educated me on the industry and shared how there was just massive inefficiency. Remember like those early calls where he's like, oh no, this is how public adjusters are currently operating. We're like, they can't be doing that. Like,
yeah.
This is a big industry.
Yeah,
like,
it's a huge industry.
There was so much inefficiency. There was one big tech player in the industry that still exists, but they were kind of like the Titanic at this point. There was no innovation taking place, antiquated solution. But based on what we just shared with Juanita, what Josh brought to the table wasn't necessarily the technical know-how, although he's a little bit technical. It was the industry expertise. He knows exactly what public adjusters need. Take a look at this commercial right now.
The insurance adjuster industry has not received much love in the space of innovation, ever. Professionals in this industry are faced with extremely arduous processes that make scaling difficult and quality of life poor. Claim Guru assists public adjusting businesses by providing powerful tools for managing every step of the claim process, from origination to settlement and beyond. In addition, Claim Guru will help professionals stay on top of their adjusting caseload, proactively guiding them through the process, which makes the customer experience significantly enhanced. Our client-centric approach helps to increase your company's capacity, providing you with the tools you need to grow and succeed. From lead management, contract execution, scheduling, claims filing, claims management, loss scoping, loss documentation, document creation and distribution, file transferring, claim activity documentation, task reminders and organization, form filling and filing, payment intake and distribution. The process is currently way too complex and time-consuming to allow for maximum profits. Until now, we invite you to take your public adjusting business to the next level by hiring a guru, the one and only Claim Guru.
So what do you think about that? That's what a technology looks like in a business industry. It's an industry technology. It's going to completely eliminate inefficiency, redundancy. It's going to give public adjusters their time back so they can use that time for their family, to do higher producing activities, to grow their business, for hobbies, for health, but not for pushing paper. And that's what business technology looks like. So go check it out. If you are in the public adjusting industry, claimguru.com. We can't wait to see what you think. So who's up next? We have Nina. Nina, welcome. Where are you calling in from tonight?
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Where are you calling in from?
From Slovenia.
Slovenia.
Oh,
awesome.
great.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. And I got 5 minutes. Share your big idea.
Okay, so can I just share my screen?
Please do.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, wait. I have to. Okay, share screen. Okay, so I mean, my idea is, or my company that I'd like to establish, or our company, it's called Stellar Future. And it comes from my core vision that actually I really want to achieve this sustainable world. And I think a lot of it comes from the way we manage organizations. And I think I have this vision of how organizations work and function, but it comes from a stellar system. So I envision every company as being this kind of a galaxy. So you have the core, which is the vision, mission, purpose that drives everything forward. And you have the C-level executives and CEOs that have to make these decisions that encompass the whole company, right? And they have these little planets inside their system that have to push the wheel forward every single day. And I want to design a system that would help them achieve just that. And I mean, I don't probably have to really like get into detail how big this problem actually is, but we can like just, you know, considering like how big problems climate change is actually causing, how big the problems are now when, you know, politicians are making these huge targets that we have to transition to carbon neutral, but, you know, to change the company in such a way, it's actually very difficult, and it requires many changes and many offsets. And I want to design a system that would actually help this make such decisions much easier and much more obtainable in the first place. So so the way our system actually functions, so this is like, you know, the way I envision organizations. I believe that the future of organizations actually need to focus so much more on transformation and adaptation at every single part and every single moment. And the way they can do that is through innovation. But innovation is not just, you know, launching a new product. It's like novel ways of doing things, or like changing. And, you know, creating these changes inside the organization has to be much more easier if we're to create a system that is actually sustainable in terms of both environmental, economic, and social. So the way we want to envision and create this system of a stellar future is to create a platform. I don't know how to, a platform where you know, a CEO can actually feel like a driver behind the wheel. So he understands everything in terms of economical data that would make them, that he would be able, or she would be able to make better strategic choices. So, and also in social, that could impact the strategic choices, and even make an impact. So what kind of a social impact the organization is making. And then there's another part, which I think right now we don't consider enough, which is like environmental aspect of how much CO2 emissions are we actually causing, what, you know, what are the water range, land use that we are using, and so on. And there are also things that, you know, can impact the system, and we don't know about. So, you know, what
Nina, you got 1 minute, 1 minute, keep going, you got 1 minute.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of things that, you know, you could understand, but there's another one that I think it's also important, which is people. So understanding people in terms of like changing. And then our system would help the CEOs actually also execute decisions and provide them with information on how they can improve the decisions, so how they can innovate to become more sustainable in the future. So I think the market size is huge. And we have a huge target, which I don't know if we're gonna acquire it, but we want to at least like get to, you know, at some point to $1 billion evaluation. So I think it's huge, but, you know, sometimes you have to make bold goals to get them there, or at least to half of them. And I think that's also good. So I think in terms of our business case, we need about approximately like $1 to $2 million investment. Minimum is like $500,000, so we can like get our wireframe developed and also to work with like, you know, potential, if we can pay people as well and onboard some more. And I think the more investment we get, the faster we can get there. So we can, because we have more software power and so on. And I think,
all right, we'll ask you some questions, Nina. Great job, Nina. So Eric, you're up. What questions you got for Nina?
So Nina, it's so interesting because just this morning I was looking at Bloomberg Business Week, and they just said that the next 1,000 unicorn startups are going to be focused on climate change. So you have clearly identified a problem. This is a problem. I'm not quite sure that I understand what exactly your solution is. I saw a lot of things on there that a CEO would be able to influence within their organization. And then I saw a lot of things that people would be able to do, and then a lot of things that the society at large is able to do. What would your platform enable somebody to do that they can't currently do right now?
So I think like the core solution to our problem is basically that we provide them information on how they can change in a speed of light. So basically, because, you know, you can design, you know, an AI or like a technological system that can provide you of potential improvements into the system. And what we want to also incorporate into our like decision-making framework is also this part where you can actually execute on the decision without actually needing to go through so many people inside of your organization to get to the point where you have to go. So this is what we want to do. And I think that's the core solution that we're doing as well.
So you're creating a platform that is creating change in the mindset and the activities of people in their daily lives, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and so what is that vehicle of change going to be? There's a lot of investment going into projects right now to get people to invest more sustainably, to get them to go to the gym more, to get them to study for their SATs, to get them to save more money. And actually, with all of that money going in, they had a MacArthur grant, and they still weren't able to figure it out. So what vehicle of change management would you be using to be able to instill these kinds of changes?
So, I mean, the first thing is like we're focusing on the people that have the biggest power inside of the organization, right? And if they're able to understand how, you know, the external and internal environment functions, if they're able to understand how much problems it's causing to, you know, not change the organization right now to adapt to and transform to, you know, current and future environment, I think like our platform is actually enabling them to do this much faster than, I don't know, going to a consultant and asking them for a solution, but it's actually giving them every single day a potential improvement that can actually be enacted inside of the whole system. So I think what we're doing is actually creating changes inside the companies. And you have MacArthur Foundation, and you have many different things, but what we're doing them is like how they can do it. And we're also giving them the solution that they need to actually enact on it without actually using too much time and much force, and just travel into the future faster.
Yeah. So I would say here's my challenge to you, because I love that you identified this problem. I love that you're passionate about it. So what I would want to see is, what are those things that I should be doing every day, and how am I going to track them, and how is that creating the change? If I could see a more tactical plan of what would be provided for these CEOs, I think I would have a lot more clarity around the idea. And I think you probably already have those things as well. I would just want to challenge you to show us what that is, and then provide it for CEOs and see what kind of change gets transformed. Now, the way that carbon neutral trackers are, you can track things all over the place, right? You can make a decision to put in, what does my carbon footprint look like if I take a shower for 5 minutes less, and then it'll run the whole thing for you. So I would want to see exactly that plan that you're going to provide for them, so that we would have a better understanding of the platform and the way that they would engage with it. But thank you for identifying that problem and bringing it to us today, because more activity needs to be talked about in this problem.
Yeah, really, it is an important topic. And for those in the chat, let us know, what are your thoughts on Nina's idea? Is this an idea that we should move forward with in due diligence? Nina, I'm going to give you 60 seconds. Sell us on why we should move forward in due diligence with you. 60 seconds, go.
I don't know. I think because it's going to change the way we do business in the future. I mean, I know there's a lot of things already happening, but I think we really want to design something that is, I don't know, really usable and really easy to, you know, just create a change, you know, without actually needing for us to go into this like huge problem of, you know, taking that much time to actually create changes, but just creating them. And I think if you believe in a sustainable world, I think we can create it together.
Awesome. No, we appreciate it. We definitely believe in a sustainable world. I'm not a yes due diligence for the reason that Eric said as well. We need to get a little bit more or significantly more tactical. Like what is the actual solution? We know there's a problem, and you identified it, and I applaud you. I applaud you for identifying it. I applaud you for wanting to be part of the solution. Now I encourage you to go really deep into figuring out what that solution is. But in the chat, influence us otherwise. Influence if we should move forward with Nina and do due diligence. What an amazing group of entrepreneurs today, right? What an extraordinary group. Yeah. Everything from software solutions for the senior living to sustainable living to, I mean, how damn cool is this, man? We get to show up every night. 4 people show up with us, 4 changemaker entrepreneurs from around the world, as you can see, everywhere. And that's their moment. It's their moment to share their big ideas. Some of these ideas, as you see, they're on a piece of paper like this. That's it. They're as valuable as this piece of paper is right now. But the person that's holding the paper, they see it. Like Nina just now, she goes to a $1 billion company. I love that. Yeah. Like, I love the fact that she had a moonshot, right? But what about you? What about you, the spectator that shows up every night, which we appreciate? Like, we appreciate your attendance. We're doing this for you. We're doing this so that you can have the courage to show up and be the solution to some problem that exists in your life or in a business that you're in or an industry that you care about. We're doing it for you to give you the courage to come to the tank. And I hope that tonight is your night. Head over to 10xincubator.com and fill out the written application. It's free. We're going to review your application, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be one of the 4 changemaker entrepreneurs that gets to sit in the tank with us, where Eric and I, we're motivated to say yes, because we will build, we will scale, and we will sell 10,000 tech companies in 10 years. I just hope at least one of those is yours. Thank you for joining us for tonight. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Which napkin will become the next exit? Which MVP will evolve into a unicorn? Which cash-flowing tech company will reach the next level? Our hope and desire is that it's yours. Your idea, your MVP, your cash-flowing tech company. Now is your time. Head over to 10xincubator.com and submit your idea so that you get on the tank and give us the chance to transform your napkin into an exit. That's 10xincubator.com. That's 10xincubator.com. Let's go.